Hello everyone and welcome to the final round of this year's Tata Steel Masters edition. We have a clash we've been waiting for, I believe, ever since day one of the Tata Steel. Gukesh faces Arjun Erigaisi, and Gukesh is leading the tournament alongside Pragnananda. Should Gukesh win and let's say Prag doesn't win, Gukesh wins the tournament. If Gukesh draws and Prag wins the game, then Prag wins the tournament. And if both Gukesh and Prag lose their games and Nodirbek wins, then we go into a three-way playoff. And then well, who knows what will happen. But this game already finished. I'm sure those of you who have seen it have no idea what happened. Let's see what happened here. So Gukesh with white opens with pawn to e4. We have pawn to e5 by Arjun. Knight to f3. We have knight to f6 going for the Petrov defense. Knight captures on e5, the classical variation, d6, and now not the standard knight f3. This is the, I thought this was even the only continuation, and there are over 20,000 games in the database. But here, knight to c4. It's the so-called Paulsen attack, and well, has been employed by masters of attack such as Wei Yi, Morozevich played it, Vidit played it, Gatakamsky played it. With mixed success. So okay, knight captures on e3, and now queen to e2, threatening to pick up the knight. Queen to e7, and now knight back to e3, not allowing any unnecessary trades. We have knight to knight back to f6, and now knight to c3. We have bishop to e6, and here there is a game from 2019 from the World Junior Championship. Murli Kartikian played it against Varsny Aryan, and in that game pawn to d4 was played. But here we have pawn to g3 by Gukesh, and it is now, as of move 8 already, that we have a completely new game, which is for a game of this level, being the final round, being the most important game. Having a new position on move 8 already very interesting. We have knight to c6 by Arjun and bishop to g2, queen to d7, and castles kingside followed by castles queenside. So we have castles on opposite sides of the board, only move 10, and this can only be good for us, the viewers. And Gukesh lunges forward with pawn to b4. Now, of course, it is a free pawn. If Arjun wants, he can capture it, then he gives Gukesh the semi-open b file, but there's no reason to do that. The best way to counter an attack on the flank is to counter in the center. So pawn to d5, pawn to b5, and knight to a5. We have pawn to d4 and bishop to h3. Of course, this is Gukesh's main defender. Arjun wants to trade it off. And interestingly, the top move the engine recommends here is just to move the bishop. He says this is a good piece. The rook on f1 is not a great piece, and the bishop is an excellent attacker. So if Arjun wants, you should give him the exchange. And now you keep the bishop, you keep the attack, you continue pushing on the queen side, maybe some knight a4, knight c5, and good things might happen. But after bishop h3, Gukesh decided to trade. Bishop captures. We have queen captures on h3 and queen to f3. Okay, nicely putting pressure on that d5 pawn. And Arjun just says, you can have that. I'm going for your king. h4, h captures on g3 is coming, and then checkmate on h2. That is the idea. We have knight e captures on d5 by Gukesh, and pawn to h4. Just continuing the attack. Knight captures on f6, even ruining Gukesh's pawn structure, Arjun's pawn structure. And now rook to d1. Here, Gukesh, if he wanted, he could have just played something like queen to g2. And okay, we either trade queens and then it's again playable, or queen to f5 and bishop to f4. This looks perfectly fine, and no worries there. But after g captures on f6, Gukesh played rook to d1. He's looking for ways to play this for an advantage, and Arjun says, all right, I'm not gonna argue with you. H captures on g3, h captures on g3, and now knight to c4, getting the knight closer to the action. Queen h2 check, it doesn't do all that much. There really isn't a way that you can push for more. Even if you play queen h1 check to force a queen trade, white can just play, let's say, king e2, and what do you play? You can capture. The pawn is defended, you're just going to be down a pawn. So it makes no sense, and you're the one who's attacking. So keeping the queens on the board is definitely the way to go. Knight to c4, we have bishop to f4 by Gukesh, and now Arjun goes for bishop to h6, and he wants to eliminate this bishop to go after the white king. We have bishop captures on h6, rook captures, and now queen to g2. Gukesh now offers a queen trade, but why would Arjun accept it? He just moves the queen to h5, and now he will triple up on the h file. We have rook 8 to b1, and rook d to h8. And if someone, showed you this position and asked, who would you rather be here, black or white? And seeing the triple action on the h file, I don't think there's anyone who says that I want to be white here. And you are right. White is objectively lost in this position. Can Gukesh make it work somehow? Let's see what he does. He goes rook to b4. We have knight to a3, an excellent move by Arjun, putting pressure on c2, putting pressure on b5. We have pawn to b6. There's no good way for you other than to waste time to defend the c2 pawn. Sacrificing the b pawn is your only counterplay. Maybe if Arjun captures with the a pawn, you can sneak in from behind. But of course, Arjun plays c captures on b6, and now rook to a4. Attacks the knight, attacks the a7 pawn, knight to b5 defending, and now rook to d3. Of course, the queen defends the knight, so that's not a hanging piece. Rook to d3, now defending the knight on c3, and Arjun calculates precisely. Knight captures on c3, rook captures on c3 with check, and now what would you play in this position? That is the question. Rook to b8 seems like king to b8 seems like the way to go, but king to d8 is what Arjun played, and it is the best move. Point is that if you go to hide into the corner, then g4 is played, and now if you're not really precise, queen to h1 is the only move. Let's say you play something like queen g5, already you run into trouble. Queen g3 check, king goes to a8, and now rook captures on a7, and that's pretty much it. Okay, you still have to play a little bit. You will have to give up your queen, but after a couple of moves, it's not going to be simple to play this. White is objectively winning now. So after rook captures on c3, Arjun boldly goes with his king into the center of the board, pawn to f3, and now queen to b5. So again, what can you play here? Rook captures on a7. Other moves don't really help you. Rook to h1 with check, king to f2, and now rook 8 to h2. And he was in this position on move 31 that Gukesh Domaraju resigned the game, as there is nothing more to be done here. So Gukesh loses the game, and he loses his first game after becoming world champion. So this is his first loss upon resuming the mantle of world champion, upon acquiring the mantle of world champion. Not an easy defeat for him. Definitely, a draw could have won him Tata Steel. A victory would most likely win him Tata Steel. But it's not all over. Prague is still playing. Nodirbek also playing. Should Nodirbek win and Prague lose, then we go into a three-way tiebreak, and Gukesh is still in the game. But I will keep you guys informed as the games finish. I will, of course, recap them for your viewing pleasure, and we'll see what happens here. Nothing is over. Everything is still possible for all three of them. We'll see what happens. But yeah, big congratulations for Arjun having a terrible tournament, and then in final two rounds he just beats Nodirbek, and then Gukesh. Someone said that it's not it wasn't his month. That February is his month. He's undefeated in February. But yeah. Crazy guy, this Arjun. But yeah, I mean, taking down two such players 2 rounds in a row, beautiful stuff. So yeah, that's the game. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Tough luck for Gukesh. Definitely wasn't his day or game. He could have forced that draw, but I guess he just felt invincible and wanted to push it, as far as it goes, and this is where it got him. So yeah, I would like to thank John Tardif, Pierre Murad, Rani Lavi, Andreas Rosenthal, and Andrei Shrade for your contribution to my channel. Thank you a lot. I really appreciate it. As usual, you can check 2 of my previous videos here. Thank you for watching, and I will see you soon, continuing to check upon your wonderful suggestions and whatever else happens in the chess world. Thank you all. I will see you soon, and have an excellent rest of your day.